It's 7 o'clock, so we may have other people join. That's fine. So sitting up straight but comfortably, and gently closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Take a few deep breaths. And exhaling, relaxing, letting go of the day. Feeling yourself settle in. And letting go of the thoughts of the day, just coming to your breath. Staying with the body sensations. Feeling yourself supported in your chair. Letting your breath lead you by just staying with that in-breath and the out-breath. And focusing on your body and your breath. Noticing your feet on the floor, your seat, in the chair or the cushion. Being aware of your posture, how you're holding your body. Softening the belly, keeping your shoulders down and your jaw muscle loose. Letting your hands relax. Your arms are heavy on your lap or at your side. Just arriving to the group, coming back to yourself. And notice how your body begins to settle and your breath begins to slow down a bit. And noticing as the thoughts do enter your mind, you can just notice them. Oh, I'm thinking. I'm coming back to the breath. No need to be critical or judgmental of yourself for thinking. We just notice the thought and let it go and come back to the breath and the body. And now doing a body scan, just touch into any areas that may feel tense and breathing into those areas, relaxing them a bit more, letting go of any tension that you're holding in your body that you weren't aware of. And if you have a particularly busy mind, just taking a few extra deep breaths and focusing again on the body, coming back to the breath and the body with every thought that comes into your mind. Just let it pass through, and we anchor in the breath and the body. Hmm. So, welcome everyone. Tonight I wanted to talk about, actually, I want to begin this month with talking about the Foundations of Mindfulness, Satipatthana Sutta. And I'll probably go through the sutta throughout the month. Um, it's pretty basic. Sati means awareness or mindfulness, to be awake and aware. This is one of the first teachings that the Buddha gave, and there's a reason for that. The Satipatthana Sutta is taught so that we can learn how to anchor in our breath. Um, the Anapanasati Sutta is about the mindfulness of breathing, and that's the next teaching in the discourses. But this one is really important to really understand, why do we focus on our breath? Most mindfulness teachers will tell you, you know, focus on your breath, but why? Why do we do this? Well, for several reasons. Why do we meditate? To usually become calm and centered. And in order to become more calm and centered, we need to be here now, rather than having our minds wander away and get caught up in a story. We get caught in our memories, we get caught in our regrets, we get caught in a fantasy. Um, and none of that really leads to any kind of happiness. So, if we want to be living in a calm and centered state in a form of happiness, the breath is just a great place to start. It's there, it's portable, it's always with us. Um, and we can let the rest of the world just kind of drop away. So, being mindful and aware is how we do this. And this discipline of mindful meditation is our practice in that mindful awareness. So, when the Buddha was talking to his disciples or his pupils, he was telling them that the Satipatthana teaches us to dwell independently without clinging to anything in the world, which sounds really nice. We want to dwell independently without clinging to anything in the world. That means we don't want to cling to our wants and our desires. We rather can just accept the here and now as it is and be okay with it. This really is a big part of learning and participating in the Four Noble Truths, which is the first noble truth, that there's suffering. Part of human life is suffering. Um, the causes of sufferings are our wants and desires, which is the second noble truth. There are causes. And being human, we have desires, we have wants and needs. We get disappointed when things don't go our way. This is what causes our suffering. And number three is, there is a way out of suffering. It's pretty simple, easy to remember. There's a way out of suffering. The fourth noble truth is that the way out of suffering is to practice the Eightfold Path. I'm going to turn the heater off a bit. So the Eightfold Path is very, very convoluted. There's a lot of lists and all kinds of things to study. But just to keep it simple, we know we suffer. We know our desires and our clinging causes our suffering. We know that we can fall out of suffering if we follow the Eightfold Path. The beginning of that is to simply learn how to be here, now, without clinging to anything. The easiest way to do that is to focus on the breath. But when we learn to focus on the breath, we learn to let go of the thoughts that come up. We learn to anchor in that. It's a really good place to go. So I really wanted to get on top of this to begin our year, because from here, I'd like to extend this out. The first part of this is all about breath. The four foundations of mindfulness are mindfulness or contemplation of the body. The second is contemplation of feeling tones. The third is contemplation of mind states. And the fourth is contemplation of the dharmas, which is the Eightfold Path. So if we want to begin with the body, what better way than to begin with breathing? It's right there in the body. So mindfulness of breathing is the first practice of the contemplation of the body. I'm trying to find the quote here. The Buddha said, throughout his teaching career, he called it the unadulterated, blissful abiding that banishes unwholesome thoughts as soon as they arise. So this is where a lot of our suffering comes from. Wholesome thoughts, if we're thinking happy, wholesome thoughts, we're really not causing ourselves any problem. We're really not causing anyone else any problem. It's when we get into those unwholesome thoughts, those wants and desires, the judgments that we put on each other or ourselves, that causes suffering. So the clarity comes when we're focusing on our breath and we can really discern, am I being in a wholesome state of mind, or am I following into an unwholesome state of mind? Am I causing myself suffering, or am I creating a form of happiness by simply letting go and letting it be, letting everything just simply be as it is? And this is where we want to start with our breathing. So we focus on the natural process of breathing, our body as we naturally breathe. We want to focus on the physical sensations of breath, usually in our nostrils and our lips. And it's really simple. The teaching that the Buddha taught was mindful, one breathes in. Mindful, one breathes out. I think the difficult part becomes mindful. We often get so caught in the rhythm of the breath that our mind tends to want to go off somewhere and get caught in a story. So knowing that, we recognize that, we bring it back, we bring our attention back to our breath, then anchor again in our breath. There is a great deal of teaching in this, and I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Because it really is simple. And to get convoluted, I think we tend to lose the simple teaching of simply breathing. So we anchor in the breath, and this anchoring keeps our mind from meandering around. According to the sutta, the mindfulness of breathing unfolds in 4 stages. And the first 2 is simply recognizing whether we're breathing in short breath, breathing out a short breath, and the second, breathing in a long breath, and breathing out the long breath. And the third is, along with that breathing in and out, we also experience the body. So we're really experiencing the body breathing. We're being in the body breathing, which is a great anchor. It's a great place to anchor. And in the 4th stage, we come to where the body starts to calm and get centered and gradually quiet down. And then we just kind of rest in that feeling of calm. So the Satipatthana meditation is not about remembering something from the past. It's not about ruminating. It's not about creating a future. It's about being right here, right now with this breath. How's my body feeling? How's my breath feeling? What's happening with my body in this moment? What kind of movement is my body going through? Very simple, but something really important, because with this discipline, we use it, we bring it with us throughout the day. And when we get caught in unwholesome thoughts, unwholesome states of mind, we can just bring this out. Oh yeah, I want to do my breathing. I want to let this go. This is not making me happy. The other part of it is studies have been shown that those who meditate on a regular basis have better memories and better recall. So that's always a plus, especially as we're getting older and I tend to forget things. So makes me wonder, how much would I forget if I didn't do this? So at first we're really vigilant about training ourselves to do this. We're really vigilant about being conscious of our breath and more receptive to the attitude about having the thoughts coming and going, that it's okay to have thoughts, but we don't need to get caught in the story. So with that intention, we come back to the breath. There's a story that Bhikkhu Analayo tells. I took a 9-week course with Bhikkhu Analayo on the Satipatthana, and here's a book I highly recommend. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, it's very clear. He has very easy teaching methods, really easy to understand, very simple. But on the topic of working with intention, here's a story here about a cow herd. And in this simile, which is from the Majjhima Nikaya 19, in case you're interested, this simile describes a cow herd in ancient India in two situations. In the first situation, the crops are ripe. The cow herd has to watch over the cows with close vigilance to prevent them from straying into and feasting on the ripe crops. Once the crops have been harvested, however, the cowherd can relax and just observe the cows from a distance. All he has to do is be aware that there are cows. For this distant watching, the simile uses the term sati. I picture the cowherd sitting relaxed at the root of a tree and watching the cows grazing in various places. All he has to do is just be aware of them from an uninvolved distance. So this is what we do with our breath, like the cowherd. We're going to try to keep our thoughts get out of getting caught up in a story, this ripe story that we really want to get caught up in. We catch that when it happens and then bring that cow back, right? We keep him out of the crop. So when our thoughts are going, taking us off into some spinning out story, just noticing it and going, oh yeah, okay, there I go. Come back to the breath, come back to now. And this is so intentional because we're really training ourselves. After a while, it just becomes something we do and something we watch. We're not quite so vigilant. We're not quite so on top of it because it's a habit now. Now it's a habit, something that comes naturally. Oh, there I go thinking again. I'll come back to my breath. So we're just watching the thoughts, just watching the cows staying out of the ripe fruit. So this is all about training our mind, staying on top of things. Really simple. We're going to start a meditation now based just on that. And what I'd like you to do is to really pay attention to the sensations of your breath. Feeling the sensation of the breath entering your nostrils, feeling and experiencing that breath exiting your nostrils. And I'm going to say we're breathing in short, we're breathing out short. Now, when I do that, this is with intention. We're going to breathe in short, maybe count to 2, breathe out short, count to 2. We'll do that a few times. And then we'll go into the long breathing and maybe just count to 5, a 5 count in and a 5 count out. And as I'm leading this, just pay attention to how it feels in your body. What kind of sensations physically are you having? Does it feel uncomfortable? Is it unpleasant? Is it pleasant? We're just trying to get our minds to notice these things. So, taking a couple of deep breaths to get us started and gently closing your eyes or softening your focus, settling in, feeling yourself supported in your seat, letting your body relax. So being aware of your breath, noticing where you're feeling the sensation of breathing, just breathe in short. You can say to yourself, I'm breathing in short. I know I'm breathing in short. I'm breathing out short. I know I'm breathing out short. Breathing in a short breath, breathing out a short breath. Breathing in a short breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out as I breathe out a short breath. Just practice that for just a few moments. You may notice that it's more of a shallow breath, not quite as relaxing as a long breath. We definitely have to pay attention when we're doing this. And now breathing in a long breath, maybe counting to 5. Breathing in long, I know I'm breathing in long. Breathing out long, I know I'm breathing out long. And continue with this. Just play around with it just for a few moments. Breathing in long, being aware of that breath. Breathing out. Where do you feel this sensation? You may notice that it feels a little more relaxing to breathe in long and breathe out long, rather than breathing in short, breathing out short. And now allow your body to breathe naturally, relaxing, no more control over the breath, just allowing the breath to come and go naturally as the body wants to breathe. And now, as you're observing this natural breathing of the body, notice the pauses between the in breath and the out breath. For me, there's a very short pause between breathing in and breathing out. There's a longer pause between breathing out and breathing in. It may be different for you. So, in this practice, we're going to be very vigilant in noticing the pauses, noticing the different sensations with a short breath, the different sensations with a long breath. We're going to become very aware of all of these sensations and aware of the body breathing naturally and how that feels. Aware of the pauses between the breaths. And notice when your mind wanders and come back to the breath. And you can experiment with the short, long breaths, allowing the body to breathe naturally. It helps our focus. And during this experiment, you might want to count to 3 on the short breath, a quick pause, and then a quick short breath out, and a longer count on the long breath in, and maybe a longer pause before you breathe the long breath out. And then going back to observing the body breathing naturally. Now, as you experiment with this for the next couple of minutes, let's try to be really aware, very intentional with all of these different practices, noticing all of it, making note of the different sensations. And now we can move into breathing and experiencing the entire body. Noticing how, again, how you're holding your body. Letting go of any tension, allowing the breath to help you let go of that tension. Breathing into those different areas of your body that might be tight. There might be some discomfort. You can breathe into those areas as well. Another part of being aware of the body while you're breathing is to make a note that you're bringing oxygen into the lungs. And oxygen is being picked up by the blood vessels in your lungs, pumping that throughout your body. There's a lot that goes on physically as we breathe in and out. Noticing the movement of your body as your chest and your belly expand and contract. And you can bring attention to how your body is beginning to calm and relax. Any stress or rigidity that we had in our body is beginning to soften. You feel centered and calm. And now being very aware of your breath, breathing from the bottom of your diaphragm and slowly filling that up till you reach the top of the diaphragm and breathe in as much as you can, and then slowly exhaling and emptying completely. And then again, slowly from the bottom of your diaphragm, breathing in, filling it slowly from the bottom to the top, and slowly exhaling from the top to the bottom. And again, noticing as your body breathes naturally at this point, taking note of the sensations, the relaxation, the calming. And if your mind begins to wander, coming back to the breath, and you can pick up wherever you like, whether it's a short in and out breath, long in and out breath, a deep, deep breath. You're just observing the body breathing naturally, calming, quieting, feeling relaxed and heavy. So this is a really good meditation to bring home with you in the morning as you begin your meditation. To begin with this, it's very helpful. In the evening after a long day, to relax. And bringing it with you throughout the day. If you're having a stressful day, we come back to this, just taking a few moments, paying attention to the breath, noticing when the thoughts come in, and again anchoring in this breath. And settling into the awareness of the whole body, just sitting, knowing that you're sitting. And within that framework of the whole body, becoming aware of the body breathing, finding its own natural rhythm. And we relax in that rhythm, allowing that to just simply be. And now doing a body scan, notice any areas that may have tightened up, relaxing the shoulders and softening the belly. Just sitting at ease, relaxing with every breath. Notice any thoughts or images or feelings that arise. And coming back again and again to the breath. And now, with your attention on your chest and the movement of your body as you breathe, bringing your attention to that heart chakra, that heart center there, and breathing in a feeling of benevolence, goodwill, and feeling that wholesome feeling. And then we send this intention out to all beings. May all beings everywhere be at peace. May they all live in safety and with ease. So this peaceful, calm, abiding that this breath work brings us, we want to share that with others. We wish that for others to find that peace, that ease, that calm. And may the energy of our practice together be dedicated to the welfare and happiness and the liberation of all beings everywhere. May all beings find this peace, this calm abiding, this relaxation. Now, if you find your mind wandering, or if you feel sleepy, coming back to experimenting with the short breath and the long breath, noticing the different sensations in the body, staying with the rhythm of the natural breath. And thank you for meditating with me.